Fear I may have broken the train. Hello everybody, welcome to another video. It's me, TheGeekDaddy. I wasn't gonna record today, but the Class 90 has dropped for Train Sim World 6, and so I thought we'd have a first look at it for our channel. So welcome if you're joining for the first time. Do hit the like and subscribe button as well. It does help the channel out. I'm going to say that now, get that out of the way, and then we're going to jump straight in. I've selected a service already. We have the London Gateway Freightliner Trafford Park FLT. What FLT means I don't know, but I will look it up and add it in editing. But yes, 4M42 is the service we're going to run. It's a 50-minute service, and we'll have a look at the loco and everything as well. Let's get straight into it. So here we are in the cab, which looks very good. So let's get the loco set up and find all the switches and things. There's lots of bits and pieces. I'm looking for the master key. That's what I'm looking for there. Set the reverser 2 forwards. And we hear the engine or the motors start up. I assume that we've got advanced on expert mode. I have read that there is expert mode GSMR, so we have got expert mode put on. So that's we need to register somehow. I need to get that straight on. Registration code 4M42988 lead driver. So it does actually work out that we're already at that signal. So it's done it for us and registered. So it's not the same as the 375 on Medway Valley. It's done it for us. But I'm sure we can contact the signaller in the same way. I have no idea whether it's the same sort of thing. No, it's not the same as on Medway Valley. So it said it was an enhanced one. I must have misread it. Anyway, we'll get underway. So I have selected the Freightliner green for this run. We'll get the headlights on, like so. Make sure we've got safety systems on as well, like that. Brilliant. The AWS button on control doesn't work currently. That's a good start. Brilliant. So that's a good start. The AWS on controller, the B button on Xbox, whatever it is on PlayStation, the equivalent, it doesn't work. So that's a bit of feedback as a first look. Anyway, we'll get underway. Set the train brake handle to running. Okay. So this really is a first look. I haven't touched this at all. It's literally just come out. So you looking at it for the first time. What you're seeing is me seeing it for the first time and using it for the first time. So I'm learning as you guys are watching. So yeah, we'll put those on dim. What switches we got here? Cab lights, clipboard. We've got other switches here as well. Demisters. What's that one? Foot warmer. We can have our feet nice and cozy if we want. Tail lights, marker lights on. What else? Parking brake. Parking brake on. We don't need parking brake on. It's off at the moment. Cab air temperature. We've got cab air speed. We've got various other bits and pieces. Let's get going. We are actually a double header, I've just realised. So we've got a grey unit behind us as well. A grey Freightliner unit. So we've got this secondary Class 90 on the back with the grey and the eagle. We are going too fast. Trying to find a sweet spot for the speed. Another look around the cab. Headlights. We didn't put those on, but there they are. We've got pan up, reset, we've got pan down, we've got fire, etc. ETS. I don't even think we've got any of that on. Driver guard call, fire alarm test, etc. Everything else is all lit up fine. Any faults will light up in red on the board. Alright, we can get up to 75 now. Now there is a speed set switch somewhere, and I've just seen it, and I'm trying to see where it was. So there it is. It's right in the middle, right there. So we can set that. Oh. To 75. Something I did. I did something. Set the direction of travel to forward or reverse before applying power. Did I knock the reverser off, did I? How strange. And now it won't let me select the... Okay, there we are then, we've broken that. Those are now not interactable. So if you set that... Yeah, the master key and the direction seem to have become uninteractable as a result of me pressing the speed set button. If I turn that off. Now we can do it. Right, so it obviously wasn't set off. That was on me. Right. And then okay, so if we go back over here, and now if I set that to 75 and then increase the throttle, let's see what happens. We're bouncing about. That's a weird sound. Let's give it a little bit of power to start with. Brakes are released. We should be moving. That is a very strange sound. I think I fear I may have broken the train. Goodness me. Not a good sound at all, that. We are on an incline. I'm wondering if that's half the issue. Oh, something's just flying past there. Nope. Okay, so if you're looking for something that says don't do this, this is certainly don't do what I did, is essentially what I'm saying. Because the train is now stuck. Right, let's try again. Let's get ourselves set up. So let's get that set to 75, which is our maximum speed. We'll do everything else on the keyboard and run through it very, very quickly. Yeah, the controller acknowledgement button for AWS is not working. So whether they pushed out the wrong one, the wrong version of the root, Loco, or there's a patch for it, I have no idea. But yeah, AWS is not working on controller. Good start, well done. We'll switch that on as well because I hate seeing those red lights. Headlights we want day. I think we're good to go. AWS, GSMR is all good. We'll get registered, although we don't have to actually do anything. If I can actually select the thing, there we are. Registration code 4M42, lead driver. Wait, check head code. There we go. Right, that's done. We're good. So I have got the speed set thing. I've got that done. How it works, I have no idea, but we'll look at that. Surely if I go through this, that will hold me at 10. If I lower it to 5, no, okay. Ah, there we go. So there's a switch on. If you've got a keyboard plugged in, you can do it through the keyboard. The keyboard buttons for it are Control and R, and it sets the speed then. So if I accelerate now, should hold the speed at 10, but it hasn't. Okay, so does that even work? I did turn it on. It is on. Why is it not? How very interesting. Huh. I have no idea then. I'll have to have a look at the speed set switch and see how it actually works. But certainly AWS doesn't work. The acknowledge button. Right. So yeah, we've restarted, and I'm not sure that the speed set is working, although I have set it to 25, so it seems to be we're not accelerating any further. If I increase that, we start to see the engine increase. So it is working. I initially reported it wasn't. It is now working. I think you have to come off the throttle, set it, and then apply the throttle. So there we are. We'll set that to 75, and we should be all right to cruise. So we've 38 miles to go to Milton Keynes with our freight. And because we restarted the run, we have a different secondary loco on our consist. We had a grey one when I first started recording. Because we had our issues with the speed set and everything, and we restarted the service, we have two different locos now, both in the Freightliner green. So we're cruising along nicely at 73, our maximum speed is 75. We've got the speed set working as well now, so it takes the workload off the driver, of course. And we've 34 miles to go to Milton Keynes. Xbox sounds coming into play, of course. That is just a limitation with Xbox, I assume. No idea. Everything else. Now there are neutral sections on this line, as mentioned in the article for this loco, so we will have to factor that in as well, I suppose. Those Xbox sounds are really not doing any favours. This is Watford Junction we're passing through. I think it was. It looked like Watford Junction. I have just reduced our speed because we have a reduced speed limit. For a moment. Anyway, we'll increase it back up to 75. And then we do have a 100 mile an hour section, but hauling freight, I'm sure that won't be the case for us. 25 miles remaining. So we are limited to 75, even though we're on a 100 mile an hour section of track. As we're freight, we are only permitted to do 75 at the maximum. I did press it. I pressed it on the keyboard, the acknowledgement. However, it looked like we're going to be slow because I didn't press it quick enough. I was trying to press the controller button. So let's power everything off so that we can recover from the stop. Leave that off until the brakes recover. Right, all being well, we should be able to proceed. He says, knowing full well that we had issues with wheel slip and stuff before. Our brakes are fully released. Let's have the dynamic brakes released as well, that might help. We were moving for a second then. Come on. We are creeping forwards. So just increase it a little bit. Maybe that was the issue last time, was we had the direct brake on. We are going up an incline as well, so we are going to increase our speed slowly. But we are going to get there. Right. But yes, AWS not being on the controller is a real... It's an issue. It's an issue. Okay, so it started to rain, so we'll find a wiper button on keyboard and we'll put the wipers on. They're going at completely different speeds to each other, but there we are. That looks ridiculous. Hey ho. That's quite distracting, I will say. We'll stop that one. Camera constantly going to the rear of the train as opposed to the front. That's another real issue of mine. I'm not convinced that we've got the right headlights on, you know. Apparently we have. I haven't got the marker lights on, that's what it is. That's the issue. There we go. That's better. Okay, 21 miles to go. Oh, there's a 350 in GBR livery. I downloaded the GBR livery, and apparently there's a 350 that spawned just then in the livery. So, yeah, interesting. That looks quite nice, actually. I'm still not sure, ultimately, how I feel about the new liveries, but it's nice to see it. It appeases those who like to stick flags everywhere, I suppose. It's a mildly political statement, but we'll leave that there, I think. $19 miles to go on this run. Got some double yellows coming up, so we'll be prepared to stop. Just in case we have a red. Seems to be alright now. So we do have a red signal. I am slowing down for that. Work out what's going on. It has now gone yellow. We have about 14 miles to go to Milton Keynes to finish our run with our freight. The weather has turned quite atrocious, but you know, we're coming into Milton Keynes, what do we expect? So we're around 10 miles away from Milton Keynes Central now. We've got another red signal, so we are slowing down for that. I'm hoping that it turns yellow. It doesn't look like it's going to. There we go. Set the train brake handle to running before applying power. Yeah, I know. Thank you. Not sure why it told me to do that. Past 66 passing us there. We're 7 miles or so away from Milton Keynes. The weather has not improved. We've still got some yellows, so we are having to just monitor that. And I've got my finger hovering over the keyboard for the AWS button on there, because obviously the controller button doesn't work. I pressed it then without realising that it had just gone green. Oh, there was a Pendolino in Virgin livery. So it seems that all of the liveries that I've downloaded from Creators Club are loading in today. Should have set that before we jumped on the route, but there we are. Nice to have the variety, I suppose. I might need to slow down a bit quicker than that. Let's see what happens. Really hoping we don't get too many more yellows, or at least reds. It's like just a clear run now. So we are getting stopped. There are some real frame rate issues just then as well. It was really difficult to work out what was happening. Not sure what went on. So I had some frame rate issues, and then I think it to do with that spawning in. That does look quite nice, I will say. And then AWS pinged me, and I couldn't hear it over all the din of the Loco and everything. So we have been stopped. We'll reset ourselves. Wait for the brakes to release properly. We are on an incline. I might just hold the direct brake on. That is off. We are moving, just very slowly. One of the issues I have with this is, we are a double header. You would expect to be getting some power from the second Loco, although in game it feels like the second Loco is more of a dead weight than anything. I mean, we can try and cycle through it. There's the second Loco there. It's not actually doing anything. Okay, so we have managed to get underway. After some faffing around, we've managed to get the train moving again. So we're going to move into Milton Keynes. We're 2.3 miles away. Let's make sure we have everything else set up as well, like so. We'll have the headlights on. We did reset the physics, but everything is as it should be. It's now working. We've only got a short distance to go, so let's get that done. The weather has cleared up as well. The rain has stopped. We got stung by AWS again, and because I couldn't get it to the keyboard in time, it stopped us. We will make it to Milton Keynes, I promise. We are waiting for those brakes to release. Brakes have not released, and I have no idea why. Huh, there we go. So I had to put them into emergency, and then fully released them, and then for some reason they've now fully released. Weird. Okay. Whether that is a real life thing, I have no idea. Don't know enough about this Loco to know if that is a characteristic of it, but anyway, hopefully we can now start moving. That's released. That's released. Not quite at 5 bar yet. And the rain has just restarted as well. Brilliant. A bit more power, please. I would like to move. That would be good. Direct brake is definitely off. Okay, so we are moving. We're moving at 1 mile an hour, 2 miles an hour. Lot of the speed demons, it would seem. Let's put the wipers back on as well. Okay, so we are back moving. We will finally make it into Milton Keynes after all of these mishaps. I'm going to keep my finger right over the AWS button on the keyboard just so that we don't get a repeat of all of these issues. We are finally approaching Milton Keynes. We're a little way off our stop marker. We will go forward just a little bit. Trying to give it just enough power. That'll do. Finally made it. There we are. Okay, so we did finally make it. There were a few mishaps on the way, but that is our first look video on the British Rail Class 90 add-on. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you very soon. Take care for now. Bye-bye.